Live streaming on the 10 News app, also on YouTube, on our OTT platform, on Facebook. You name it, we're pretty much on it. Hope you guys had a great weekend. For the most part, the weather cooperating. I had my folks in town, so it was nice to take them and actually be outside instead of just cooped up in the apartment. So that was at least nice. And it was a nice view to start the weekend. We'll start you out this morning with our picture of the day as we get more folks tuning in to the live stream. This one from Babette in Galax. And this is an example of cloudy iridescence. And basically what's happening here is you have the sunlight that's hitting the ice crystals in these high-level clouds at the right angle to expose every color of the visible spectrum, that being the Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I had to think about that for a second. It is early this morning. All right. Let's go ahead and get things started out for you as you're heading out the door. Not going to need the jacket. Temperatures in the 50s, in the 60s. Wytheville and Martinsville at 55 and 57. Roanoke at 65 degrees. You've got some clouds overhead that have kind of put a lid on temperatures and prevented them from dropping quite as much as maybe they have over the past few mornings. So again, the coat not necessarily needed just yet this morning. So here we go. Pretty stormy pattern off toward the north and west. What you get is these clusters, or what in meteorology is called MCSs, mesoscale convective systems, basically storm clusters. And what they tend to do is dive from northwest to southeast. Well, you look at the current trajectory of this one, and it is going to miss us heading into the afternoon. A little bit of energy that feeds off of it could wind up producing a few isolated downpours for us this afternoon, but it doesn't look as though it's going to be incredibly wet today. In fact, our better chance is going to arrive as we head into the nighttime and into early tomorrow morning. So here's 1 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll see a partly cloudy sky, maybe a stray downpour during the peak heating of the day. Reason being, it's warm, it's humid. That air is conducive for just a few pop-up storms, but it's not necessarily, again, going to be anything widespread. I think most of the day and most of the area is actually going to be pretty dry on this Monday. Here's how that changes, though, heading into the nighttime. You see, again, one of those clusters arriving in from the north and west. And so this still could be pretty strong as it gets closer to the West Virginia border after 9 or 10 p.m. As it goes from northwest to southeast from there, it likely peters out a little bit. In fact, let me play this a little more slowly for you. Here's some of the overnight hours, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And you see that line moving from west to east. So it looks as though the morning commute tomorrow is mostly dry. I could stand to see a few showers still east of the Parkway, 6, 7, 8 a.m. But we'll keep track of that cluster heading into tonight and tomorrow morning. We're left with just some isolated downpours out there heading into the afternoon. Reason being is that first cluster kind of sucks up the energy out of the atmosphere, and so we're not left with much more to work with from there. So only isolated activity heading into Tuesday afternoon and evening. So with that said, Rocky Mount 82, Covington 81, Pulaski 79, Wytheville, Floyd 76 today, and by tomorrow temperatures not much different. We'll be in the 80s, Roanoke 83, Lynchburg, Alta Vista 85, slightly warmer in Danville and South Boston, but areas like Hillsville 73, Blacksburg 77 on Tuesday. A little bit on the humid side, not that it's anything tropical or anything like you would feel in July, but a little bit on the humid side compared to where we've been over the past several weeks. That changes as this front passes through. You get the drier air coming in out of the northeast Wednesday and Thursday mornings and afternoons, really. So going to feel much more pleasant by then, and then all eyes on the weekend. As many of you know, most of our rain has fallen on either a Friday or a Sunday. In fact, 64% of our rain this year has happened on those 2 days. So the question is, does that continue heading into Mother's Day weekend? And it appears as though we see more scattered showers and thunderstorms. So I'll stop the tape right about here, and what you'll see is low pressure to the west, high pressure to the east. So that brings in more warmth, more humidity heading into the holiday weekend. Friday looks like most of our showers and storms will be in the mountains. And then as we get a little more humid and have a front nearby, Showers and thunderstorms become more likely Saturday and perhaps again on Mother's Day. Those look to be your kind of typical timing, afternoon and evening each of those days. So it's not to say that every hour of every day this weekend is going to be wet, but we do see some afternoon storms in the forecast. Temperatures ranging between the 70s and 80s from mountains to lower elevations on Mother's Day. And a reminder, you can always get these updates by downloading our free 10 News and weather apps. If you don't have those yet, you look up WSLS 10 Weather in your phone's app store. We do these live streams every Monday morning at about 7:05 on our app, on our YouTube channel, on our OTT, and also on Facebook. So with that said, here's a look at the extended forecast at about 7:11 on this Monday morning. Again, we're mostly dry today. Most of the storminess we see is tonight into tomorrow morning. 70s and 80s for highs. Come Wednesday, we're actually looking less humid. Thursday is going to be beautiful. We start out with temperatures upper 40s and lower 50s, but your high about 75 to 80 degrees by the afternoon. High temperatures get back into the 80s Friday through Mother's Day. You notice lows in the 60s. That's a sign of the humidity that makes a comeback. You're still looking at, again, showers and storms by Mother's Day. Most of that looks to be by the afternoon and the evening. So almost typical of late spring and early summer heading into the upcoming weekend. Appreciate you guys spending some time with us on this Monday morning. Again, hope you had a great weekend. Hope the weather cooperated with some of your plans. As we're coming up on 7:12 this morning, we'll skedaddle. We've got updates every half hour throughout the Today Show and again today at noon on 10 News. So have a great rest of your Monday. And as always, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Stay cool out there today.